I'm Jarad, and I'm going to read 3 short poems for you tonight. The first one is a prose poem called The Sleeping Habits of Kookaburras. Walking home from the gym in the still dark, I am left alone on the main road. The electricity poles keep their distance and their thoughts to themselves. The shop fronts have gone blind, and so don't stare as I pass by them. Everywhere concrete sits heavy on the earth. Near the vacant bus stop, a kookaburra swoops over my shoulder and lands on top of the timetable sign. A lone explorer. I stop and watch him. He hops from the sign to the top of the bus shelter and then flies ahead to a telephone wire, where, I see, he joins 2 others. An expedition. The 3 kookaburras sit together, washed the colour of stone by the grey light. Then one takes flight and the others follow, chasing, playing like children who do not yet realise they are lost. Okay, the second one is called Carly at the Supermarket. There's a woman in the bakery aisle losing her mind. Carbohydrates, sugar, fat. She must be 10 feet tall with a second head that hovers above her first like a totem pole. The hungry goddess rages before half-price donuts. Every minute on the treadmill a trick. All her hard work destroyed by eggs and butter and chocolate. And the last one is another short prose poem called Stone. I have lived in this house since the continents drifted. I had another house before that, but it is a church now. When it rains, I know which windows to shut to keep my books from getting wet. Sometimes a woman comes and sings in the garden. I wish she wouldn't. She sounds like a stone falling in love. Cool, thanks very much for this.
David Foster Wallace killed himself. To be blunt, so what? Chance should we have if his last tangible grip in the world was filled with coiled, starched, pubic hairy rope, callow but precocious ligature comprised of several different 100% cotton items. He didn't like to make a fuss. But the beam was heavy wood that he brushed exactly twice when mounting the apparatus, of which wood's weight must have felt immense with the added approach of terminus. Minutes like seconds petering away, smushed by what was doubtless a final poignancy. 2 Rottweilers, his pooches, in from the weather to solicit pets, neck scruffs. Understanding something was impending, master high upon the chair, taller than usual, bending to rub bellies and talk goofy, one wrist hanging between the hairy hoop, holding his slouched free hand full of wet desperate fur, lapping tongues, one paw on foot, which weight squeezed maybe 2 tears. The rest fell inside a contortionist's clear box. And then, for sake of modesty, for sake of efficacy, united self with rope, stepped off into the instant cut or red milky vapour, swung to and fro, or grasped the welding point concerned by indentation that would remain fallow, or perhaps raised mature fields. We can't be certain. And he can't even explain or begin to comprehend the axiom, because David Foster Wallace killed himself, and that's that. And my second one's called On My Shadow Shoulders. I'm standing on my shadow shoulders, trying to see, over the timber fence occupying 2 places at once. I'm standing on my shadow shoulders, 12 feet 2 inches tall, but up is still the only way to look at the horizon. I'm watching for movement, ants taking past through splinters, undulating heat on the line. I'm standing on my shadow shoulders, and everything he wants to tell me is gesticulated. There's no hole in my head. I falter and understand. My shadow thinks he's seen something. There's no holes in my head. I'm standing on my shadow shoulders, thinking we should trade places. He can watch the line, get burnt by the sun. I'll stand in the shadows of the fence and speak, if there really is something to talk about down there.